Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. If I was a gambling man, I'd be putting a little bit of money on there being quite a few Timex reviews coming up on the channel over the next few months, because on Wednesday this week, I took delivery of 4 brand new Timex watches. And today I'm going to do a very quick quadruple unboxing, the first time I have ever done one on the channel. I've kind of personally blown a bit hot and cold with Timex over the years. I've had a few in my personal collection, but don't have any in there at the moment. And I have both roasted and praised their current lineup in pretty much equal measure. But today I've got a mixture of old and new models, all of which I think are worth considering, especially considering their very modest prices. Now, I put the pop-up up today. 2 of these I bought myself. I bought them on amazon.com.au, and 2 of them were sent to me by Watch Direct, who are a local Sydney retailer of Timex, and a whole bunch of other brands besides. Thank you very much to Andrew and the team there. I'll leave a link to their website in the description of the video. They also have a bricks and mortar warehouse in Marrickville if you live in Sydney and don't have the patience to wait for next day delivery. Let's flip the camera and peel off a lot of stickers. Alright, 4 watches, never done this before. I have, however, had a big coffee. We're going to have to crack through this gonzo style today, or we'll be here for 25 minutes or more. 2 different boxes though, as I'm sure you have already spotted. These were the 2 I bought myself from Amazon. These were the 2 sent by Watch Direct. These 2 were a little bit cheaper, these 2 a bit more expensive. I'm not quite sure which is the cause, whether it's grey market or official AD. Who cares really, as long as the watches inside are decent. Now, I'm going to do them that one, that one, that one, and that one. This is a bit of a memory lane trip for me. This, I think, is the most interesting and the most expensive, hence why I'm picking them in that order. Let's get on with the memory lane one. Honestly, if you wore a headband, one of those kind of big toweling headbands in the 80s and were into fitness, then you probably had a Timex Iron Man. I had a Timex Iron Man, but it was a bit more recently than that. A few specification clues from the packaging, including, in rather bold letters, shock and indiglo. Those 2 are important. 200 meters of water resistance, and a model reference of T5K1959J. Philippines assembly, not something you see with a lot of other Japanese brands at least. And there it is. They're calling this one the Timex Ironman Triathlon Original 30 because it's capable of keeping track of 30 different laps if you're in the pool, and original because it's a direct update of the original Timex Ironman from 1986, hence my reference to the terry toweling headbands. I paid bang on 100 Aussie dollars for this one, shipped to my door via Amazon. Dimensions super quick. It is a little larger than the original at 42mm in diameter, 14.6mm thick, 49.2 lug to lug, but check that case, it does point down. Don't be intimidated by the lug to lug. 18mm lug width, you're probably not going to be taking it off the original band. Having said that, I wore mine on a Velcro back in the day. As supplied on the resin band here, it weighs in at a mere 55 grams, 200 meters of water resistance, and I have absolutely no idea what module is in it. I will of course research that for the full review, but not for the quick and dirty unboxing today. What does the case back tell us? Well, it tells us the battery type, so it's a 2016, and looking at the screws in each corner, it should be easily user serviceable. Now, one of the recent updates to this included more shock resistance, hence shock in large letters across the middle. $100, that puts this one kind of on par here in Australia anyway with the entry-level square Gs and some of the other non-square Gs. Obviously this one is not going to be quite as shock-proof, but it does have a broadly similar set of specs. It has all the features you would expect from a watch from the mid-1980s as well. Big 2-line LCD display though, great for reading while you're actually undertaking sporting activities. Time, AM, PM, day of the week, and date of the month of the year. Modes: chronograph, a bunch of laps, obviously being a 30-lap Ironman timer, countdown timer here, and alarm there, and that's pretty much it. Back to the main time set, and indiglo function. I'll show you that in the full review as well. One of the aces in the hole for Timex is their indiglo. And it looks great in a super 1980s way. Lots of unnecessary adornments and unnecessary angles. Absolutely everywhere. Love the Iron Man symbol on the buckle there. Love the Iron Man symbol on the retainer there, just to remind you again. And that retainer is very much fixed in place there. A really, really nice piece of design. Pretty legible and a good modern size. The old ones were well under 40mm, so I'm glad they updated it. Alright, that'll do for the Iron Man. If you are a super fit retro grouch, you probably own one of these already. Let's get on to the next box. Alright, what can we tell from the packaging? Well, we can tell that this one is a TW2W45000VJ. It's from their Classics range, and it was a little more expensive at $179. However, Watch Direct had this one on a bit of a deal at $129 when I ordered it. Much nicer packaging than the Iron Man. I thought this was really interesting. I have looked at and owned a bunch of watches in this style, but always by Casio, not by Timex. It is an old school ANA-Digi LCD. Oh, that was a satisfying sticker. Plus, it's a bit of a jellyfish strap as well. Yeah, very, very interesting. When I saw it, I thought I really ought to give this one a crack. Yeah, so these were $129 from Watch Direct. Looks like this model is temporarily sold out, but they do have them in other colors. And yeah, I really wanted to see what Timex did with this style of watch because I have several others by Casio, very similar in my collection. I just picked up this LF20W, plus I own an AQ800. Perhaps there'll be a kind of head-to-head between these three retro pieces at some point in the future. This one definitely has a little bit more meat about it as well than either of the other two. Dimensions then, 35mm across the middle, a little bit more meat, but not a lot more meat. 9.6mm thick with a 42mm lug to lug. 20mm lugs though. Interesting to see that. 30 meters of water resistance, 33 grams of weight, and again, no idea about the module. One more sticker though warning us about the dangers of swallowing flat cell batteries. My goodness, that warning sticker should have come with a warning sticker of its own. Again, 4 screws in each corner, only 30 meters of water resistance from this one, but advertising that 20mm lug width. I'm not suggesting that you can swap it out for a leather or something immediately, but the possibility exists if you fancy it. Looks like a fairly standard 4-button layout on this one, and most of the features are advertised clearly on the dial: chrono, alarm, timer, and then I'm guessing once I start hitting the mode button here, yep, dual time, alarm, timer, stopwatch, and back to set time. One more for real time. Light. No Indiglow here, I don't think. No, just a pathetic white LED on one side of the screen, I'm afraid. Hey, it's alright on wrist though. Definitely has more chunk than either of the other two small Casio tank style watches. Maybe closer to the DBC32 calculator that I've got a couple of than either of the smaller ones. Yeah. Jellyfish style strap. If you enjoy your arm hair, then you will enjoy a jellyfish style strap. That'll do for new. 2 down, 2 to go. Alright, on to the second of my Amazon purchases. What clues are there here for as well? T4518119J, part of the Expedition range of watches. I bought this one for a specific purpose, that purpose being that I'm researching a top 10 ANA-Digi watches, affordable ANA-Digis, you know, $500 or less. And whilst researching that, I spotted this. And I spotted it for 90 Aussie dollars on Amazon and knew I had to buy it. And we are greeted by a slightly unusual situation here. As you can see, the curved LCD, the kind of smile dial, Timex Expedition smile dial, is ticking away nicely, but the central minute, hour, and second hand are not, because there's a little battery saver tab. So it's saving batteries whilst not really saving batteries at the same time. All right, there we go. That means those two, though, are completely independently adjustable of each other, which is a good thing. So you can adjust a couple of different time zones, set it to 2 time zones if you want. Looking at this, very, very similar to the Casio Forester range of watches. It's got that kind of standard outdoorsy color palette of green, brown, kind of muted grey, beige, and black. And what do we got here? Indiglow. So unlike the other one, this has an Indiglow nightlight, alarm, set, and mode being the other buttons, plus standard crown operation, I'm guessing, for this central analog display. And it has, look at that, It's got a dive time bezel. What a weird little watch this is. Like I said, I saw this one and I knew I just had to have it. That is very, very interesting. But check that out, just when you thought that Seiko had exclusivity on quality control issues and misaligned chapter rings, check that one. That 24 sits way left of the marker at 12. Again, battery warning sticker on here, although hopefully a little easier to manage than the last one. Marginally easier to manage than the last one, the big Expedition E in the middle there, and again telling you what battery you need when time comes to replace it, and again it's a CR2016, and again telling you 20mm lug width. So 38mm in diameter, excluding all of these little lumps, bumps, pushers and the crown, 12.5mm thick, 45.3mm lug to lug. We already know 20mm lug width, 37 grams, really not a lot of weight from this resin case, 100 meters of water resistance. That is a mineral crystal, I have no doubt, covering the dial, and again, no clue about the movement. That's it on wrist. There's not a lot to this one. 37 grams, it pretty much weighs next to nothing. The strap though, again, very reminiscent of the Casio Forester straps. Stiff. It's going to last forever, but you probably won't want it to. Outdoorsy, on the cheap, fully featured, 90 bucks. This one will definitely be in my top 10 Anna Digi video coming soon. And watch number 4, it's a bit mysterious. It's a bit of an enigma. TW2W59800VJ, Classics range again. 399 Aussie, although that is not the price that Watch Direct are charging for this one at the moment. I'll get you the price in just a second, but what is it? Let's have a look at it. I spotted this one on somebody's wrist a couple of weeks ago here in Sydney, and I thought it looked fantastic. This is a Timex Q Enigma 1975 reissue, and you know what? I wasn't wrong. It looks fantastic. Now, $399 from Timex, $319 from Watch Direct, but on special at the moment for under 304 Aussie. And thankfully, watch number 4, plenty of stickers for us to peel. That's most of them. We'll tackle the case back sticker together in just a second, but there is going to be a rather satisfying one covering the dial today. That's it, and really, what a nice dial. They referred to this one as the Enigma because they tried to make it look like the hands were almost invisible. There is a dot printed, I believe, on the underside of the crystal here to cover the pinion. Same color as the main base dial color. The hands, the majority of the hands, are also the same color as the main base dial color, giving the illusion that these two little white sections, that's most of them. We'll tackle the case back sticker together in just a second, but there is going to be a rather satisfying one covering the dial today. That's it, and really, what a nice dial. They referred to this one as the Enigma because they tried to make it look like the hands were almost invisible. There is a dot printed, I believe, on the underside of the crystal here to cover the pinion. Same color as the main base dial color. The hands, the majority of the hands, are also the same color as the main base dial color, giving the illusion that these two little white sections, the two little white rectangles, and the red circle are floating above the dial itself. Again, a little battery saver here. Let's pull that out, push the crown in, and yeah, watch it tick. It might have been a bit cooler an effect if this one had been mechanical, but hey, it's part of the Q range, part of the quartz range, and yeah, 1975. Quartz was all the rage at the time. All right, come on, case back sticker, give me a break. Let's see how we go with this one. It might be slightly easier. Yes, it is. This has got one of these battery hatches. These are fantastic. Swatch use them on the vast majority of their watches. Penny in there, coin in there, unscrew it, pop it off, replace the battery. Even easier than adjusting 4 screws. Very good. So 37mm in diameter, 13.5mm thick, 42mm lug to lug, 20mm between the lugs. Now that is important because I suspect this rolled link bracelet, is not gonna stay the course for me anyway. Acrylic crystal covering the dial, very nice indeed. 87 grams, unsized, probably take 4 or 5 grams off that, 50 meters of water resistance, and once more, I will research the movement in due course. Very stylish on wrist, but it has already taken hairs from my arm on the way onto my wrist. I will size it up for the full review, but I'll also give you a bunch of strap alternatives. That watch head is really pretty nice though. 37mm, not huge, but it's a little bit chunky because of the 13.5mm thickness, because of that big piece of acrylic crystal. Timex have been doing really well with their Q range reissues over the last 3 or 4 years now, and I can see why this one is proving to be pretty popular at the moment. It's lovely. So there you have it, 4 watches from the same brand, but quite a diverse range of different styles on the table, that's for sure. Digital, analog digital, digital pretending to be analog digital, and super retro 3-hand quartz. Very nice indeed. Big shout out again to Watch Direct for supplying these two. You can head down to the bookies now and put 50 bucks on there being a shed load of Timex on just one more watch over the next 8 weeks. Well done for making it all the way to the end. Why not check out a couple of Timex reviews that have been on the channel in the past? Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next one.